the F-22 Raptor. This is the Motion RC. A little piece of tape because he glued this on, and some modifications to get his CG right. He wanted to have it where he wanted it. This guy's an experienced pilot, so he knows what he wants and he does it. He removed the light, and he removed the pilot. He doesn't like that extra weight. He says, "I'm the pilot." So he's the pilot. So let's look. I'm going to get started with the install. So one thing I don't like is that most companies went to this little reciprocal that you plug in with the wing, and the wing plugs in as you slide it. Whereas this, you got to actually plug this plug in. And it's funny because my buddy was putting it together and he was pushing it in there like it was done. I was like, no, you got to plug that plug. So now you got to separate it at least that much, and you got to work your plug in. And it's only as hard as it's looking on the video because I'm filming at the same time. So then you slide it in. So then it's not that bad a deal. And then you got your two screws. I'm gonna get the other wing placed, and then we go ahead and put the screws in. So these two little recesses are where your screws go. You can see the reciprocal in there, the brass reciprocal for that one. And yeah, you can see it for that one also. So I'm gonna just put those in. So for the bolts on the F-22, this is something he's going to be taking apart on a normal basis. He didn't want to deal with the regular screws that he had to have a tool for. He wanted these thumb knobs, and there's drag all over the place. So it's not like we're going to produce much more by this. So, you know, hey, this is the way to make it an easy disassembly. So just in case you have similar thing where you want to take it apart a lot and you don't want to deal with the screws, here you go. You get some of these and solve the problem. So like I mentioned, this guy is a seasoned veteran and he knows where he wants his battery to be. So he carved out everything, got this thing completely set up with Velcro at this angle you're seeing instead of your traditional flat. This is where he wants to be. So that's what we got. We're flying on a 6S 4000. See that there? It's a Z battery, and that's our location. So got my battery hooked up. Control surfaces are dancing. Canopy's going on. Locked in. Doing control surface checks. Alrighty. We got everything hooked up. Before we go out, we're gonna check the CG. Yeah, about a 1/4 inch forward, puts in balance, so we're pretty, like a little bit nose heavy. For a maiden flight, that's kind of decent, we think.
They came out with a Gen 2.
And we are up. Sounds like he reduced the power a little bit. He's comfortable, it looks like. Yeah, gray on that background is not the best. And it's had a bad time for our field because the sun's kind of killing you when you get right overhead. But it's up and it's looking good. All right, folks. I don't know how great I got that, but that was an awesome pass. You don't get many people. Like I said, this is a seasoned vet and he knows how to wheel this thing. First flight and he's already cutting up like that, so I can know that he's gonna go crazy with it on the second or third. So it looks like something that somebody's been flying for years because he's really just wielding it around. Mr. Paulie, any trim? Anything?
A little up and a little left.
Okay, so it did need some trim out the box. There is something I want to kind of cover when we get in. For anybody considering buying it, we had a little issue with the linkage. it was actually the wrong size for the rudders. And you know, I know you're probably thinking, oh, these guys don't know what they're talking about, but we actually measured them all out, and all the sizes that they said they were going to have for all the other control surfaces were correct, but the one for the rudders were way too short, so it ended up making both rudders tapering in, which would create a lot of drag. So we just went ahead and replaced those with appropriate size linkages for the rudder, and everything looks good. So obviously we did good because it's flying. All right.
Where's the runway?
Yeah, a little off the runway, first flight, but we couldn't ask for much more. It's a good first flight.
Yeah, but they should never.
So what I wanted to point out, the only issue we seen during the build was these linkages. I mentioned them during the flight. So if you take a look, and I know people are going to be real critical that I'm wrong about what I'm saying, but this surface is flat right here for the rudder. And if you look at where this ends up at, it's not even enough to screw the ball in. And I know you're thinking, oh, well, it might have had longer ball ends. Nope, this is the one that it came with. So I'm going to get this screwed on 2 turns, which would be probably the minimum anybody would take a chance at and still be too loose. And see how far back it is? So, and that wasn't comfortable to us. So we were actually about 4 or 5 turns before we felt comfortable. And then that put this way back here. So both rudders were tapered in ridiculously. So now we outfitted it with this, and then it's like you saw the flight. It's good. It's awesome. This thing is great.
Except be a better landing pilot.
He thinks it was a terrible landing, which I don't. I think it was the first one he had jitters. So, you know, sometimes it happens, but we're going to go back up and then he can totally redeem himself. And check everything, then check the reverse too.
Right.
Oh yeah, that'll do it. That'll do it. Who does that with a jet right out of the back? Right off the back, he's upside down. He knows it and he does it.
How you fly all the planes?
Yes, sir. You like those landing gear down?
Oh, sit up. Oh, sit down. Oh, I didn't know that.
I thought you was doing it. I know you went crazy right out the bat. You forgot all about gear, huh?
Nice F-22.
You did one yesterday pretty good. Let's see.
Okay. Oh, I lost orientation. Okay. It's well to see.
You got that switch if you ever need to. It'll get your orientation right back for you.
Time remaining 1 minute.
Oh, would you look at this?
Get some altitude.
Yeah, off with the wind to your back.
Yeah.
30 seconds.
Got 30 seconds. That's battery dying.
That's really conservative. And by him doing this, he's not on much throttle right now, so that's very conservative.
Wrong runway.
Timer stop.
Oh,